You're born in 1923, somewhere in Michigan, right into a pretty average family setup. Two older brothers, a little sister, and parents doing the whole honest days work thing. Your dad works in a factory, and your mom's a nurse, which basically means she's allowed to yell at everyone about everything, including you. By the time you're 4, you get hit with the worst plot twist a kid could get: asthma, which means no running, no basketball, and definitely no keeping up with your brothers. You spend most of your childhood sitting on the sidelines watching them have all the fun while you quietly clutch an inhaler like it's a newborn kitten. School? Absolute nightmare. Reading, writing, arithmetic, you hate all of it. Unfortunately, your parents didn't ask for your opinion. Classic. So you grit your teeth, suck it up, and survive high school. Barely. After high school, you end up exactly where everyone expects, working the factory floor. Meanwhile, your brothers? Military guys. Buff, proud, probably think they're starring in their own action movie. They come home on leave just long enough to remind you how you'll never make it into the Army with your little breathing problem. Real nice guys. They think you're soft, but they couldn't be more wrong. Sure, you've got the body type of a paper straw, but you've got grit. You outwork most people your age, and asthma's never been your excuse, even though, to be fair, your lungs kind of are. But before we go any deeper into your family drama, here's something that just shook the country. Japan just bombed Pearl Harbor. Thousands of Americans are dead. And suddenly, everything about your life is about to change. The next day, Roosevelt hops on the mic. Congress signs the papers, and boom, America's officially in World War II. You didn't lose anyone you knew in the attack, but the rage? Oh, that came in hot. You're so pissed. You fantasize about storming the palace and personally choking Emperor Hirohito. Maybe a little dramatic, but hey, emotions were high. So, what do? The same week, you and 3 other guys from your factory clock out early and march straight to the nearest recruitment center. If there's going to be a war, you're not sitting it out. You're signing up to personally teach the Japanese what a bad idea Pearl Harbor was. At the base, you go through interviews, medical checks, the usual "are you a liability" screening process. Your 3 friends? Rejected. Apparently, they're not built for war. You? Miraculously passed. Well, miraculously might be pushing it. Because you definitely should have been rejected too. But you had a secret weapon: lying. When they asked if you had any health issues, you said, "Nope," with the confidence of a healthy ox. Asthma? Never heard of her. Medical records? What medical records? Next thing you know, you're shipped off to training camp. And from the second you arrive, you start questioning every decision that brought you here. It's brutal. You wake up before the sun, run until your lungs scream, knock out push-ups until your arms feel like spaghetti, and climb hills with bags full of rocks. Because why not? You hate every second, but you refuse to quit. Asthma or not, you're in this now. And every time your lungs start playing the world's saddest song, you blame anything except the real reason: the dust, the cafeteria food. Point is, no one can know. If the Army finds out about your asthma, you're done. And you didn't lie your way into the war just to get kicked out before the real fight even starts. After basic training, the Army starts handing out assignments like they're sorting students into Hogwarts houses. Infantry, mechanics, medics, you name it. A few days later, your name shows up on the list. And guess what? Congratulations, you're a medic. Medic? You didn't lie your way into the Army to play nurse. You're here to shoot things and blow stuff up, not patch up scrapes and hand out band-aids like some kind of battlefield mom. And you already know what your brothers are going to say. Actually, you don't, but you can hear the teasing in your head. That alone makes you want to punch a wall. So you try to fight it. You talk to every officer and instructor you can find, practically begging for reassignment. Most of them just shrug you off like it's above their pay grade, because it is. But one finally gives you the cold, hard truth. You're not combat material. Your training scores say it loud and clear. The choice is simple: be a medic or go home. And as much as your pride wants you to walk away, your anger tells you to stay. So you choose to stay. Next stop, Medical Replacement Training Center. 6 weeks of medic school crammed into your brain at lightning speed because Uncle Sam needs medics yesterday. Normally it takes longer, but rush orders are the theme of the decade. You keep up the regular military drills, but now you're also learning how to save lives. In the mud, under fire, with someone yelling at you while bullets snap overhead. And somehow, you're good at it. Like, weirdly good. You're calm when others panic. You're fast with your hands, sharp with your decisions. While the rest of the class is still fumbling with a scalpel, you're already juggling 5 other tools like a medical ninja. Turns out, you've got a real knack for this whole not letting people die thing. And even though some part of you still whispers, "Coward for not carrying a rifle," you keep pushing forward. Because one thing's for sure, being out here, even as a medic, is 1,000 times better than sitting at home reading war stories in the newspaper. After training, you're one of the first guys in your class to get shipped out, straight to the European theater. Why? Because apparently being too good at saving lives gets you fast-tracked to the front lines. Congratulations, you're a priority. You get assigned to the legendary 1st Infantry Division, and by July 1943, your boots are hitting Italian soil. Welcome to Sicily. Sunny skies, beautiful coastlines, and machine gun fire coming in hot. The invasion kicks off before you even have time to figure out where the bathrooms are. It's chaos, explosions everywhere. Soldiers around you crying, panicking, hiding behind anything that's not on fire. And you're just standing there, frozen, staring at the carnage like the world hit pause and forgot to press play. It's not what they showed you in training. It's worse. Way worse. Then, whack! A soldier slaps your shoulder. He's bleeding through his helmet. You barely hear him over the noise. "God damn it, Doc! They need you! Move!" You snap back to life and rush toward the nearest wounded soldier. Chest wound. Shallow breathing. You don't need a manual to know he's not gonna make it. And right there, in your arms, he's gone. You feel your throat tight, eyes water, and there's no time for grieving. There are still people you can save, so you leave them behind and keep moving. Next, you find a guy screaming for his life, or at least for his leg, which is now half a leg thanks to a grenade. He's yelling, begging you to save him, and somehow you manage to patch him up while dodging bullets and incoming explosions like you're playing real-life Frogger. And then, boom! A grenade goes off right next to you. You're launched into the air like a ragdoll and black out before you hit the ground. That grenade? Yeah, it almost turned you into a red mist. A few inches closer, and your story would have ended right there. But somehow, you wake up, dazed, ears ringing, everything spinning, but alive. And what do? You get up and go right back to saving lives, like the near-death experience was just a minor inconvenience. You work through the night and into the next morning. You don't stop. No food, no sleep, just blood, adrenaline, and whatever's keeping your legs moving. Eventually, your body gives out, and you crash. But even sleep isn't safe anymore, because now it's filled with faces, the ones you couldn't save, the ones who died screaming your name. They're in your dreams. When you finally wake up, the war's already screaming in your face again. No gentle sunrise, just explosions, more bodies, and more reminders that you're stuck in the world's worst vacation destination. Italy eventually falls to the Allies, and somehow you've saved more soldiers than you can count. Word gets around fast. You go from the new medic kid to the guy everyone prays shows up when they're bleeding out. When bullets start raining from the sky, you don't hesitate. You sprint straight into it. Soldiers start calling you an angel. You hate it, but also, maybe you've earned it. But war doesn't care about your growing fan club. You get shipped off again. This time to Normandy, Omaha Beach, D-Day. The day that looks like absolute chaos even in the history books. And you're seeing it live in high-definition horror. As usual, everything's exploding, everyone's screaming, and you're doing what you always do, patching up as many bodies as you can before the next bullet picks you instead. You survive the day, barely, mostly because of luck, and partially because you've learned one helpful trick: never take your helmet off, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. But survival has a price, and you start paying it immediately. Sleep? Gone. Replaced by nightmares that drag you back onto the battlefield every time you close your eyes. You start hearing voices in empty rooms, flinching at every tiny noise like it's a grenade with your name on it. Your hands start shaking. You talk to people who aren't there. You cry when no one's looking. Bit by bit, you start losing pieces of yourself. People start noticing something's off about you. The shaking hands, the staring into nothing, the 1,000-yard eyes. But no one reports it. You've carried too many soldiers out of hell. As long as you're still a miracle worker on the battlefield, nobody's going to say a word. On the front lines, you're practically a legend, an angel, the kind who saves American, British soldiers, even Germans when they're bleeding out. But once the shooting stops, the ghosts follow you everywhere, into your sleep. even into conversations where you swear you hear voices that aren't actually there. Eventually, something inside you snaps. You start thinking maybe dying wouldn't be so bad. Not because you're weak, but because watching everyone around you die feels worse than anything the enemy could do. It's a quiet thought, a dangerous one, and it makes you angry. But there's no time to sit with those thoughts. Not today. Because today is another battle. You're in the middle of tying a tourniquet around a soldier's arm when you see one of the few friends you have left get hit. Something snaps. Your throat burns with rage. You drop the man you were treating and sprint towards your friend. A machine gunner is lighting up the field, bullets slicing through the air. But you run through it like you're invincible, like the rules don't apply to you. You reach him, pull him into your arms, and you know, he doesn't have much time left. Still, you lift him over your shoulder to carry him to safety. But the moment you turn, a bullet slams into your back. Not a small one, a sniper round. The impact slams you into the ground, your friend crashing down with you. Pain explodes through your body as blood sprays violently from the wound. Someone is screaming your name, but it sounds like they're yelling through water. Everything's spinning, your mouth is dry, and the pain is spreading fast. You don't need a medic to tell you what you already know. This is it. There's no surviving this one. Not with a wound like that. You lie there on the grass, and suddenly your family flashes before your eyes. Your parents, your sister, even your brothers with those teasing grins. For the first time in a long time, you smile. Because despite everything, you did your job. Hundreds of families will get their sons back because you were there when it mattered. You didn't fight with a rifle. You fought with your bare hands and whatever bandages you had left, and you kept them alive, again and again. You served your country better than most people ever dream of, and now it's someone else's turn. With a faint smile on your blood-stained face, another medic presses desperately on your wound. You feel the pressure, then nothing at all. You take one final breath, and you're gone.